for the last 10 years, I've been designing and building small homes for people that want to live a simpler lifestyle and a smaller ecological footprint. Here at Dancing Rabbit, we live on far less than the average American. In fact, we use about 1/10 of the electricity of the average American. We use about 1/10 of the water of the average American, and our home size in square foot per person is more in line with the American standard of the 1950s, which is something like 300 to 400 square feet per person. This tiny house on wheels has an interior footprint of 7 feet 4 inches wide, 18 feet 4 inches long for about 134 square feet. And here at Dancing Rabbit Ecovillage, where I built this trailer, 134 square feet for a house is not out of the question. And part of the reason for that is because we rely on a lot of shared infrastructure. So if I choose to belong to a kitchen co-op or the shower co-op, then in my house I don't need a shower, I don't need a kitchen. All I need is a place to rest my head and to store my things. How about a built-in bench here that could possibly even be a bed in a pinch. Fold-down table so that you're not losing floor space but can still have some place to eat and or do your work. Here on this wheel well, maybe a built-in dresser and wardrobe. I think that accessibility is really important, and so crawling up into a loft every night might not be something that works for everyone. What I had in mind then was a horizontally mounted Murphy bed that sits along this wall. Then at night, when it's time for bed, I just drop that bed down and curl up, sweet dreams. In the morning, tuck it up out of the way, and I've got all this floor space back for doing whatever it is that I need to do. So your average American home, tract home, is going to be made with 2x4 stick frame and fiberglass insulation, which maybe gives you R11. If it's properly installed, it's also a really hard product to install properly. So this building does have a higher level of insulation and higher level of performance than your average American home. And in combination with its small size, what that means is that there are fewer resources that went into the creation of the building. There are also going to be fewer resources that go into the heating and the cooling and the conditioning of that building over its lifetime. I believe that the tiny house movement has the opportunity to transform America in many ways, away from the model of suburbia where everyone has their little tract home on their giant lawn and never talks or interacts with their neighbors. I see a place where instead we have, tiny trailer houses or tiny dwellings built up that are relying on some of these larger McMansion buildings to share the infrastructure of, well, heck, you got 4 bathrooms, that's great. You can have 4 people using the bathroom at the same time. And now I don't, those are 4 bathrooms that we've taken off of the map in some ways. Tiny houses are much more affordable than your average American house. Even if you're not building it yourself, and there are a lot of people out there that are building their own tiny houses out of reclaimed and repurposed materials, and you'll see where someone is providing a house for themselves for a few $1,000s, and that's incredible. When you compare that to the model where someone has to work 50, 60 hours a week just to pay their mortgage and their credit card bills. And so I think the tiny house movement has a lot of power to transform the American culture of consumerism and waste. One of the things about Dancing Rabbit is that through our shared infrastructure, not only are we able to avoid the expense of having all of that infrastructure in each individual house, it also gives us a great opportunity to interact with our neighbors on a regular basis. I might bump into my friend while I'm putting in laundry, or on the way to the shower or on the way to the common house to have our weekly potluck. And so my opportunity for social interaction and connection with other humans is increased. And I think that there's a real health benefit to that. And I see the opportunity for tiny house movements to join into that same village model. If you're interested in living more sustainably, or have questions about green and natural building at Dancing Rabbit, or are interested in owning your own tiny house on wheels, please contact me. I'd love to talk with you about it.